Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Joe here, the guy who is the best there is at what he does, bub. A little Wolverine for you, big X-Men fan. Side note, if you want, tell me who your favorite X-Men is. I'm always like asking people that for some reason. I might have already asked it even, but it's breakfast. I've been a big X-Men dork. Been in X-Men all week, so yeah, we can bond over X-Men. But we're not talking about X-Men, at least, hopefully not, because last night there was a pay-per-view card. UFC 303, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Actually, I enjoyed it a good amount. So, let's just cut the chit-chat and let's get to the fights. Because main event, Jiri Prochazka comes in on short notice to kind of save this card. This card was doomed because Conor McGregor, we all know that he loves to talk and talk and talk. And as he used to say, but I back it up unless there's a wrestler. He's MIA, nowhere to be seen. I understand when you break your leg like that, literally in a fight, it's going to take some time. He went on the juice to recover. I don't quite know how I feel about that because I'm very, very much anti-PED. If you've ever popped hot or it's all but confirmed you're on the juice, then you're not GOAT eligible. There's a couple of fringe guys out there for me that I go, ooh, maybe I don't know if I'm allowed to put you on my list or not. Like Chris Weidman, because his performance, I believe you saw coming in, saw a downturn. Pig Rig, obviously. I mean, he was never going to be in the list anyways, sadly, but, USADA killed his performance. Regardless of that, we ain't talking about any of that mess, because Jiri Prochazka, he comes in to save the day with Alex Pereira. Got a little off topic there. I'm not gonna lie. He comes in to save the day with Alex Pereira. They're gonna go, Alex Pereira, superstar. The UFC loves him because fans were like, hey, I kind of like this guy that you keep talking about, because people seem to forget that the reason he has a stardom was because the UFC was building him up, hoping for Izzy just to get his revenge and, be like, oh, see, there's our guy, Izzy. And he beats Izzy. And even after Izzy avenges, and makes it 3-1 lifetime against him, this guy goes to light heavyweight and fans still like him and they go, did we accidentally create a star? We don't have to put effort into this. We can just ride this coattail of luck. And that's exactly what happened. That's why Alex Pereira is a big star. Well, at least that's why the UFC promotes him so much. That's why fans love him. Like he's very meme worthy. I'm neutral to him as a fan. I'm close. I'm very, very close to being a full-on fan of his because he's a blast and a half to watch. He's a lot of fun. He's cool. I can't act like he isn't cool. Things that should be cringy are actually kind of cool with him. The whole arrow thing, like I thought that'd be horrible and stupid if someone told me like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the Night Wolf from Mortal Kombat arrow thing, and I'm like, oh, no, okay. That's what it reminds me of. I always think of Night, because obviously he's very, very proud of his native Brazilian, and like the tribes and all that down there. And we have, Native Americans here. I see the connection. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Regardless, they come in, rematch from last year, as Alex blasted him last year, and people said, oh, it's a little bit of a controversial stoppage. I thought it was a good stoppage. And here we are again. Is Jiri going to do anything to kind of mix things up? Fun things came out of this fight this week. Things such as Garry saying, hey, the only reason you beat me was because you used black shamanic magic in the first fight. He says he figured it out. You're using black magic from your tribe against me, aren't you? Which I feel like any other guy on the planet would probably say something like, no, what are you talking about? That's stupid. Alex Pereira, don't know if he was trolling. because he does have a sense of humor. For the guy who looks like the Easter Island thing, even Jamala Hill, trashing him with that. For the guy that looks like that, he himself always has that expression on his face. He himself has a good sense of humor. So, and he comes out and says, "Nah, I'm not going to. Not against the rules." What is this? Jiri was kind of spooked. He even did the sign of the cross before shaking his hand. That's insane. That's insane mind games. That this guy came into your hands and you just said, "Yeah, I'm gonna mess with it." That's awesome. And they had the best stare down in UFC history, not MMA history. I'm still a sucker for the true goat of stare downs, which is Krokop Vanderlei. Either time, it's the best ever. Nothing will ever match that intensity. But this is the best stare down in UFC history. It was almost a full round. They stared each other down until the fight started. That's what I think the commentary team said, which means it takes nearly a full round just to get the fight going, which kind of sucks. But hey, it's part of the fun and of it. At least there's some pomp and circumstance, or whatever it's called. I'm tired. That's why I'm rambly. But yeah. Anyways, so first round, Alex Pereira's getting it done on him. Jiri doesn't know what to do really. He's trying to get things going. He's being careful not to overextend, but that's kind of leading him to get leg kicked. He does clinch up. He's not a wrestler. He's not a grappler really. He got the submission win over Glover, they say. Well, that they both beat the hell out of each other. And it was kind of I'm here in this position. I guess I'll just grab his neck and squeeze. You know what I mean? It was kind of a circumstantial thing, more so than he just out-grappled him, So, couldn't really get it done there. So the big question marks that we basically all know the answer to still with Alex Pereira is, can this dude grapple or wrestle? Probably not. Jan Blachowicz took him down pretty much at will. At least my memory serves. I could be completely wrong. You're more than welcome to tell me, hey, no, he had to work for it. But he himself isn't even a wrestler. He himself is a Polish clinch guy. He wants to clinch up with you and grind you on you, or just put the hands on you, put the Polish power on you. So, yeah. And then he nearly gets knocked out at the end of the first round. Huge left hook he took on the chin. And then second round, super early into the second round, huge left high kick, lead leg high kick, drops Jiri. It's over. Just call it. It's done. Put a knife in it. And Herb Dean just kind of watched as he nearly watched uncomfortable levels of violence. And then he stood him up afterwards, which is not what you do when a guy just got knocked out that hard. You don't you don't make him stand up and let him fall around over the place, because you can really hurt your legs from that. Not from my personal experience, but I've heard stories. So, But there you go. Alex Pereira, still, like a lot of people figured. I'm a Jiri fan. I picked Alex to win. Still champion. And he's wanting to go up to heavyweight, which sucks, because that's someone John Jones is going to see and be like, another guy I can fight to dodge Tom Aspinall? I guess it's better than... I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to make a domestic abuse joke. Coming event, Dan Ige steps in on 4-hour notice because Brian Ortega pulls out. He has kids, his 2 sons, but he has a great pull-out game. He said that he was down to fight, but he's just going to be puking everywhere. So, it's a guy with IBS and has stomach problems constantly. I kind of get it, but at the same time, come on, man. A lot of fights. Dan Ige steps in. He's a native of Vegas. They're fighting in Vegas, and he just goes, yeah, I'm in. Let's go. Boom. Diego Lopez. This killer. This guy who's smoking everybody within a round. Huge hype on him. He goes out there, steps up to the plate, and for 2 rounds, Diego Lopez looked like he was this close to finishing him. Dan Ige's got a crazy chin on him and nearly got tapped out twice in the fight. But then the 3rd round happens. Dan Ige takes the 3rd round. Dude, give him $500,000 now. Dan, instead of $50K Ige, Dan, $500K Ige. Come on. It's just beautiful. It was so cool and awesome to see this moment. And I'm glad a guy like him gets a big story out of this, because this was the talk. I hope this is still the talk of the fight card. Was this Diego Lopez looked great, but he punched himself out and just gassed out from throwing all these bombs, trying to always get the finish. So I hope his aggression is amazing. That's why we love him. But if you can't finish a guy that fast, we're starting to get a little worried, because he gassed out in the Evloev fight, and we all thought, oh, it's because of 7-day notice. But he didn't. He gassed out here too. Now it's a question, And this fight was also relatively short notice. But when the other guy has 4 hours short notice, it's kind of a moot point, I suppose you could say. But for the rest of the card, because I've rambled a long time already, Roman Dolidze gets unanimous decision win over Anthony Smith. Macy Chiasson blasts Mayra Bueno Silva with an elbow from top position, gets a doctor stoppage. Huge, gnarly cut that's bleeding right into the eye. It was deep. It was gross. It was huge. Awesome. And that fight was really, really good, actually, before that. And it was great because the first fight of the night was Ian Garry versus MVP, and it bored me to tears. Ian Garry, he just wanted to lay and pray. He would take the back, right? He was taking the back. They kept saying he was training with Damian Maia, and you could see it because he was really content to back. In the first round, he nearly got a submission, but then he's just like, I'm just going to give up after that. And MVP was scorching him on the feet, too. So it makes it even much more frustrating that, this is an interesting thing here. Oh, never mind. I think MVP was probably throwing a little too wide in the later rounds, too, trying to get a finish. And so when he probably could have just stayed on the outside, blasting him, picking him apart. Joe Pfeiffer gets a less than 90-second KO over Marc-André Barriault. Andre Fili gets unanimous decision over Cub Swanson. Jean Silva got a nasty KO over Charles Jourdain. Peyton Talbot, still dumb tattoo in the center of his stomach and back. But 19-second KO. This dude's awesome. I'm a fan of his at this point. Awesome KO. I have dumb tattoos also, so I guess someone could say. So I suppose it's okay. Jillian Robertson. I always want to say Gillian because I'm stupid. Jillian Robertson retires Michelle Waterson-Gomez by unanimous decision after grappling dominance. They let her get the big speech. They had a video package ready for her. Great stuff, actually. She was very emotional, of course. And no one should forget that she herself has the best fight in women's history against Jessica Penne in Invicta. Trust me on it. There's no way we'll ever cover it in the retro review unless it's like a Patreon request. I really doubt, unless it's like our only options are Invicta cards again. So hopefully someday someone goes for that because it's the best women's fight of all time. It's not even close. Maybe close, but it's the best one. Martin Buday gets a split decision win over Andrei Arlovsky, who I was convinced was winning, but I was half paying attention in fairness. And admittingly, I thought Arlovsky was going to retire also after this fight. Ray Saruya got a unanimous decision over Carlos Hernandez with Shinsuke Nakamura in his corner. I can never do it. I wanted to see more Kinshasas out of that corner then. Makes me upset in hindsight. No, I'm kidding. Vinicius Oliveira beat my boy Ricky Simone by unanimous decision. But next week, there's no fights. It's kind of an empty void, like Peyton Talbot's tattoo representation. It's a void. That's what he says. It's a void of fights. And so, me and Carl are already working on a rainy day video for you guys. So you guys don't miss out on seeing this pretty face. Just got a new haircut, got cleaned up. Trying something different with the facial hair, doing something a little bit more for the mustache. Seeing if I like it. So that should be fun. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon stuff because we got we're always working on Patreon stuff. Sign up if you haven't. You get exclusive content like INC and Cage, me and Carl shoot, or like book reviews. We're looking at more detailed movie reviews. I'm working on an interview that may be Patreon exclusive. It may be on the channel. We haven't really sure. I'm trying to get my uncle to agree to a date when me and him I can interview him because tons of great stories, a great martial arts history behind there. His stories of working out with the Gracies, the Machados, meeting Boss Rutan, telling Ken Shamrock he hope he gets knocked out later in the night while they're backstage because he trained Evan Tanner He was a coach for Evan Tanner and King Mo, a bunch of other people. That was the guy who trained me. So, I'm just saying I'm on their level, I guess. No, I'm kidding. But I'm trying to get him going. So that could be great. And as a bonus, that's just a bonus. Great deal already. But for a little extra, you get to nominate any card you want for me to review on the Retro Review series. As long as I get my hands on it, I'll review it. That's my mentality. So be sure to check it out. Also, we just started putting up YouTube shorts on the channel. Our first 2 came out this week. Be sure to check those out. Hopefully it's something to help with the algorithm, help grow the channel. Because, this channel is kind of my baby at this point. I'm kind of playing. Carl gives me a lot of free reign with the channel and things I get to do. Obviously, it's hard with both of us working full-time jobs, but we try to do what we do here. Carl gives me a lot of credit. I give him most of the credit. So you guys be the judge, I guess. But that's it for me, though. I've been rambling a lot. I'm quite tired. It was an exhausting night for me. I apologize to Carl for editing my rambles, and I apologize to you if I was always off topic and all over the place, guys. But that's it for me. I'm Joe with the INC. Thank you so much for watching. But I was serious about the X-Men thing. Who's your favorite?